the cloud. So you know how to get to the recordings on the Sunnyside YouTube thing somehow? Like where are if you logged into Zoom, you can get to where these recordings are stored somewhere on the cloud?
Yeah.
Ruthie always used to do that. Not a bad setup.
No.
All right, folks, this could be a short meeting.
Well,
I think we give people till like 10 after to log on.
yeah. Listen, say she wasn't coming, so.
Yeah, she usually,
Maybe
we
she
probably
would
need to,
say
we
she
probably need to wait till she,
Yeah.
all right. Where am I getting to? Oh, right. So, you know how we talked about like hitting like the low hanging fruit? I think we need to pick the like a few items that we can assign tasks to people, get those little subcommittees going for things that are like tied into this bigger picture, but like we're really kind of like maybe it's the mural project or art project, or maybe it's that plaque, or maybe it's the walking tour, something that is tangible and
Yeah.
but then links back into this bigger park project and running lights all the way up the corridor with the
Yeah, I
improvement
agree
districts,
with that.
maintenance districts.
So actually, like Austin, for example, like he just got
Oh, yeah,
back
I
to
should
me.
call.
He just got back to me like just now.
Just now?
Like quite literally just now at 6:15. Um,
I don't know if I'm allowed to do this, if I'm not officially a member here.
I think I'm giving you permission.
People with the soccer game are gonna attend, but we kind of just, we set up and I'll clean up this table there. We're trying we're trying, and I'm Rod, if we haven't, sorry, but
This is my
it's gonna
first
be
time.
full.
Thanks for coming.
Uh,
Sorry for kind of the last minute notice.
Oh, good. I was like, I was actually free and why not?
Awesome, thank you.
But we thought we'd try to do, I mean, this is sort of a trial. Oh, and we're recording right now, so by the way, you're on. Yeah, so is part of the thing. But Troopy and I had been doing this for so long, and even back before when COVID hit, we went to all online. And so it's just been Zoom calls for 5 years, and so now it's like, all right, people want to, let's try to get in person. But then we're trying to figure out, like I'm broadcasting there, so people, here, I'll show you on the screen. So people can know it's just my camera but see, they can see us. If we, like, and it kind of worked when we had a projector 2 months ago out in the big room, where people could see how many people were at the person meeting, and so what we're trying to figure out is how this kind of hybrid works. Like, oh, somebody knock. Can you unlock that, or is that not kosher?
Yeah, I can just open here.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, like the door open. Yeah, that's. But that's not, I think.
oh, isn't he a member here? He probably has a key. Oh. You too. It's been a while.
Nora.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
How are you?
Good, how are you? Nora, how long have you been in the neighborhood?
Bought my place in 2018.
Nice.
But then I moved out for the past few years and I
Okay.
just moved back in. May.
Oh,
Nice,
nice.
welcome back.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, freshly back, and you're already coming to a neighborhood meeting. Wow.
Like what draws interest to the land use meeting? Just living in the neighborhood could be a great answer, but.
Good for
Yeah.
you. I've got my matcha.
The newsletter and I've always.
I have an extra.
Go, but then.
I don't drink, but thank you very much. I appreciate it. What is that? That's an English.
Well,
Beer.
Well, during the Pilsner.
yeah, I mean, we, like Rod said, we're just, we're a subcommittee of, the Sunnyside United Neighbors Inc. So, yeah, we focus
So,
on.
I just printed a few because I could never get Troop to death.
Is
So I've got an extra large one if you want one.
broad list.
Do you wear
and,
extra large or large?
Sometimes our meetings are more formal, where we'll have a speaker, or we'll have a long laundry list of items. And sometimes we're just more brainstorming.
Yeah.
But yeah, we kind of like to just keep it open to discussion.
But I'll give it to you as a donation to get people to
So,
start.
yeah, so any questions?
Get a lot of compliments from. What size shirt do you wear?
And it depends on if it's unisex. We'll say small or medium.
Oh, okay, I've got.
Yeah, maybe.
Because you
I can
showed
let
up,
you know.
because I don't have any larges yet.
Oh, it's pretty big.
No, that's an extra large.
Oh,
I have-
okay.
I have one extra large left and one medium. But I'll tell you.
Is the meeting, did we start the meeting?
Yeah. it's
Okay,
recording.
cool.
If
Excellent.
you wear it
turnout
up in the neighborhood.
tonight.
The game, the
Yeah,
US Boston game is on. I went to Monkey Road before this, that's why I was.
Are they watching it? Like, what was
packed.
the score? It was
It was 0-0.
Mexico and somebody with a U were playing last night, like at like Uruguay or something, like at like 9:30 at night, like 10 o'clock. I was walking the dogs
Oh,
late, and at Monkey Barrel there were only like 4 or 5 people, but it was blaring. Like they had all the TVs outside
Oh,
on.
I'm surprised there were that few people. I feel
No,
like it's just been
but-
like,
They're diehard.
yeah.
Can you wrap up quickly? and
Yeah,
start?
whatever you guys want to do. I mean, like, this is sort of a random agenda that we've got. I mean, and so we can talk about anything you guys like to talk about. A lot of times, Melissa Horn from Amanda Sandoval's office will hop on and give us a District 1 update. So we're kind of just waiting to see if she's gonna hop on.
But I guess in the meantime, we could just jump into some other
Yeah.
stuff, because
Do you guys have anything? Usually what we do at the beginning is have an open, like 10-minute discussion of anybody that wants to bring a topic to the table or
You know my topic.
bring up stuff.
we do now your topic.
So wait, I gotta, is it the lights?
For years, well, in this committee, I've been talking about it a lot, but the street trees and lights are,
So I gotta send you this, Matt. Look at this.
that's cool.
Look at what I designed.
Okay, I like where your head's at.
Yep. And so, and this is a real company. I just modeled up one of their light fixtures.
That would be really.
I'll send you this link because this is just like, it's live for like 30 days and
Oh,
you
okay.
can just play around with it. It's actually cool. This thing, check this out. If you want, you can like, oh, this might not, oh, it's not gonna
the ones-
explode.
It's the ones we have. So if you've been to, so there's actually a few different tiers of this issue that I found. So I'll start with what I think should be our first goal.
Yep.
Along 38th and 41st, I'm sorry,
44.
along 38th and 44th and Elliott. There's 3 local maintenance districts. A local maintenance district, granted it's spotty, it's not like continuous. But a local maintenance district collects money from the property owners in that district. And it's meant to maintain the right of way, so the street trees, lights, any improvements like sidewalks, benches, trash cans. They've all been vacant for multiple years.
Which,
And Dottie's.
by the way, we're finding out most of the businesses don't know that they're paying these fees.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because we talked to the Spice Kitchen guy and he's like,
Well, he's
what?
brand new.
He's new,
Yeah.
but you
He
know,
probably was in charge because he's only been there less than a year and they may have skipped last year's assessment. So
okay.
either way, if you walk down that street, you'll notice multiple empty street pits, which sounds dangerous at this point, broken street lights with exposed wires. And those actually have almost $500,000 between the three of them that Dottie won't release or spend because no one's on the boards.
So,
Yeah.
Reed Weimer's wife, Chandler,
She used to be.
she was the president and they were
So she
getting,
used to be on the 44.
so here's something, I don't think you and I have chatted about this. So I went and had lunch with them and she just got fed up because she was the only person doing anything. No one was showing up for their monthly board meetings that they're supposed to host to talk about things. And so the guy at the city, I forget his
Brendan.
name.
He's retired now.
Okay. He was like, we can't do anything with the funds until you guys kind of meet your obligations of the maintenance district. So she was getting no support.
So
And
she
so
couldn't
she-
spend the funds then. She was a property owner in the district.
Yeah, well, because they weren't hosting the regular
Oh, they
meetings.
just have to host.
And nobody was, she was trying to, and nobody was
I
showing
should
up.
reach out to her because I had
Well-
to be on all three boards as an ally.
Yeah, well, so she took the notebooks, like all the info she had and literally went down and set it on his desk and said, I'm done. And he goes, well, you can't, you have to find somebody else to take your place, but you don't appoint them. You have to recommend them to the mayor and the mayor needs to appoint these
And they only
people.
approve on a quarterly basis. There's so many loopholes.
Yeah,
So much
it's
bureaucratic bullshit.
And that's why she kind of washed her hands of it.
Yeah.
But what I did offer up is, as an organization that we're supposed to be helping the neighborhood, could we use these Zoom meetings as their
Yeah,
monthly
multiple
meeting? And if one person shows up, you know, all the other people can listen to what they say. And she goes, that would really help. And we just put them in the standard agenda and we say,
let's do
local
that.
maintenance
That solves
district.
that problem, but they're still vacant. We need people to
Yes,
apply.
we need people to know about it.
Yeah.
So maybe as an organization, we can help
That's
rekindle.
so insane, because that is like, what would you think would be a paid position? I mean, it's accounting,
It's not
it's
paid.
Well, I
they-
know,
they
but,
spent
like,
the money though.
it-
They paid
like,
Excel. They
what,
paid
for
Denver
what
Water.
that is, like the
Yeah.
fact that it is so unregular, like it should be a paid position,
Yeah,
honestly.
they need to be audited.
Yeah, and regulated, and I-
50% of the LMDs in Denver are vacant. So Dottie is just collecting this money and who knows where it's
this
going.
sounds like a case for.
Can we track how much they should
like the
have?
Midnight News segment,
Oh,
but like.
yeah.
I sent it to him.
Stupid.
I sent it to the city
God.
on too.
What's the segment though? The like,
Steve Steger.
no, but it's like got a cheeky name. What is it?
Oh.
Like something.
Bullshit your city does. I don't know.
Sure, it's gonna okay.
It really drives me.
Well, let's
That's,
talk
I
about that.
watch
No,
it.
no, no.
Oh, so-
This make
let
this
me-
agenda item because this is the exact stuff that Becca and I have been talking
So
about doing.
I think that's our first priority because they're funded. The second priority is at 41st and Tejon and at 44th and Zuni. There's additional tree wells and streetlights. They're not in a local maintenance district. They're put in via grant in the 60s and basically abandoned.
And those are the ones that aren't working right now.
And they don't work.
Because last night when I went on my walk,
Yeah.
I was looking at the ones that do work.
The Excel
The-
meters have pulled. so
The
they're
one,
just not-
the ones up closer to federal are actually on all day.
Well, that's in the local maintenance district.
Right,
Those-
but they work, but they don't have like photo cells on them.
Yeah.
Like they're just on
They're
all the
broken.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild.
So these were installed in the 60s, from what I can tell from a grant from the city. Basically abandoned and forgotten about. The property owners are supposed to own them. Dottie has the authority to fix them and tell the property owners to fix them. If they don't, they're supposed to fix them and charge the property owners, but they won't because they won't even spend the money for the other stuff. So we're trying to get a grant to fix that stuff because it's our main corridor. It's the bus route. It's
Yep.
commercial corridor. It's basically the heart of Sunnyside. You
Yeah,
have great plans.
I could-
Like a big thing, but like we just need to fix what we have first.
Yeah, well, and that's what Becca and I talking about. It all links back to this bigger plan, but there are small parts of that big plan that we can start implementing so
Yeah.
that one thing that we'd like to do is start to show some
Yeah.
stuff to the neighborhood.
It's puzzling. Okay.
Start, stuff that people can see and touch and see improvements.
I
So
think that would be a catalyst if we could get
Yeah,
either one of
absolutely.
those start going.
Well, you
I
want
think people would start.
can I take it to the next level of what so when it goes back to the bigger thing, we've been talking to Frank over at the Park Trust,
Oh, good.
and we had lunch or coffee with him, and he was actually way more receptive than I thought he would be
He
because
gives them about a year. I mean,
okay, he's been chatting, and we actually have another thing tomorrow with him.
Okay.
So he's actually interested in doing a bunch of stuff.
Right.
But we had this part of my like idea for 44th was dealing with some stuff down at Chaffee Park as well. And I've always thought that we should have some sort of pavilion there that's like a focal point that you can see down the corridor. And I was like, how cool would it be to like have solar panels on that and use it, renewable energy and kind of, we got Sunnyside, we're the sun. So I thought he'd like be like, well, that's just too big of an ask. It's crazy. And then he was like, no, let's figure out how we put it together. And so he's got all these ideas, and I'm
From a
thinking,
funding standpoint.
well, so I wanted to show you this thing. I want to do a couple of these in the park, not put the panels on the pavilion, do some sort of building that maybe,
Shade structures.
but these shade structures and then tie them back into all your lights so that they're all LED and they just run off of TV and we can.
I mean, that's a lot of infrastructure to pay for to run
Yeah,
that.
but
these lights themselves could be LED so that they.
Yeah, so that we could tie them in eventually.
Or solar, I mean. If
We're-
they have
right.
Little solar.
But we
versions of
get
the lights.
like Casser grant at that point. Like, we start because there's some big money in those sort of
Yeah.
projects if we're like reaching out to Casser.
So,
So we do a small little things, get things kind of rolling. Maybe we pick a light that like my little one I modeled up for
Yeah.
that company, and that's what we put in for now. They
That's
just
what I see as like our third priority, because like that is bigger, longer term. If we start getting these first things going, I feel like we could.
what do you mean is the bigger priority or smaller priority?
Well, no, I
Like
just
picking
mean, like,
the light?
Third, well, I mean, like we have areas that need
New
improvement,
lights.
and no, well, that would be like the third one. We have areas that have broken lights that are funded. That's priority number one.
But could we replace them with the like lights that are branded
I mean,
Sunnyside?
the local maintenance district do whatever they want. They're
Right.
already powered in and everything, but like where we're putting new stuff, I'm totally for like solar
Right.
lights and stuff.
Right. Well, we could just make them LED so that they can adapt to a PV system down
Oh,
the
anything
road.
brand new should be
Yeah.
LED.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, like, we could run them off whatever current power they have, and then they'd be able to switch out and run off
Yeah.
of like a PV system down the road. It's like, so maybe we could implement. Well, let me ask you this about the maintenance improvement district. We were thinking that they're kind of spotty and sporadic, and they don't handle like. Is the big ask here that we get one that runs the entire corridor?
No, so if you change the boundaries, you have to dissolve it first and reapply it. So I don't think changing the boundaries at this point even makes sense. Like spend what we have, get it
Yeah,
fixed.
well, no,
Yeah.
obviously, let's like tap that out and.
But like if we wanted to extend it across all of 38 up Tejon up 44th, like yeah, absolutely.
Well, we were wondering, I was wondering, I kind of brought this up, like, instead of it being like a business improvement district or business
Well,
maintenance
so that's
district.
technically different. So there's
Right.
three improvement. There's a business improvement
Yep.
district, a general
Local
improvement
and-
district.
yeah.
Local maintenance
They
district.
both are state or federal funded or federal controlled. Local maintenance district is city controlled, so Dottie actually runs the local maintenance district.
Right. So could a local maintenance district encompass the entire neighborhood of Sunnyside?
Not that I've seen. I mean, if you go on Denver's website, they have a map of it.
No,
Pull it
I'm
up.
saying, no, I know where the ones are currently.
Yeah.
I'm saying if we dissolved the whatever it's called
But then
federal,
every
federal
house-
Decatur or
yeah.
something, local maintenance district, there's something with the, Decatur. in it.
41st and Elliott.
Or 41st Elliott, it's
44th.
Elliott, for 44th Elliott, local
What's-
maintenance district.
change a BID into GID again.
I don't know. I think it's like how they can spend money and what they can do, something like advertise, so like business improvement districts can advertise, like come to Rhino, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Because
So
I
it's
think
like a,
Cause there's
Birch Park is a neighborhood, that's a general improvement district, they dissolved and started, Broadway dissolved their local maintenance district and started a GID.
so I was just wondering,
Okay.
because instead of like putting the burden on the very few businesses that are right there, like if we put a property tax, whatever that is, a levy or whatever they call it on, like, that's like 0.002 pennies for every $100
Yeah.
or something like crazy, like over all of the residents of Sunnyside.
I mean, those are huge.
But
lists.
those would have to go before voting and all of that, but I'm like, if that were implemented, because I feel like 44th benefits like the whole neighborhood. So to put the burden on keeping it improved on
I
just,
mean, they own the property, like the property owners are responsible for, just like I am my tree lawn.
Sidewalks.
yeah, that's
pay
true.
for it.
That's true. So maybe it's not an overburden.
And us even like trying to get a grant for them, we're already like doing them a favor, and most of these people are vacant landowners. They
Yeah.
just have tenants there, like, I don't want to necessarily do them too much favor, not that I don't want it fixed, but like putting a whole neighborhood into the improvement district and only focusing on certain corridors.
is a big ask.
Well, it's a big ask, because then like I would like my tree lawn fixed, you know,
Right.
into it.
Yeah.
Well, like we would like have votes where it was like the first thing we're gonna do is XYZ.
I would hope we could pull 5 board members out of the whole.
You would think.
Yeah.
We can't even-
I also think some of this is a result of negligence of property. Well, a lot of this is a
Yes.
result of negligent property owners, which is a. If the outcome had to be like redistributing that
We
to
should
the
actually
whole
just go back
neighborhood.
and we're here at Lipan, like the worst of it is that in front of Chubby's.
Yeah,
I did some artwork down there.
so I think it's okay to
I
like,
saw some tactical urbanism when we were
That
at
was
Cherry
great.
Bean.
Did you like it?
We were looking out the window and I was like, there should be a light here. That's cool.
That was my handy doing.
No, I'm all for tactical urbanism stuff.
I
So,
called it activate the neighborhood.
yeah,
Okay, I saw there should be a lamp
That
here
was
on
me.
Tehran.
Yeah,
yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
cool,
But-
that's where I live.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So you're in that area.
nice.
Are you, so did you take the survey? No, did you go to the website?
Oh,
Wait.
it was on the, well, I
This
was,
should be done.
when I saw that, I was parked very illegally,
Oh.
because I was running something in my front door and back to my
I
car.
didn't even
so
read the
just
whole thing because we were
noticed it,
sitting there
just
talking to Brian, who lives across the
Oh,
street.
yeah. I talked to him.
She texted him and he came right over.
Oh,
We were
really?
already meeting.
Oh, that was perfect.
Yeah, he came over and we sat there and we chatted because he's got, a lot of the
He's
same.
right on Tatum too, right?
Yeah, he's like right that next kind of quadplex
Near
that's
the
it's a
doctor's
it's a
office.
double duplex that's behind
The turquoise door,
the turquoise door.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Funny.
identified there.
Well, and so your second thing you talked about was like the plantings and stuff in the tree wells. Like I had just been informed that like there's a new standard minimum is like 15 by 5.
we
Maybe
found
you
that
told
out.
me about it.
The tree people or the park people told me, so. You do have to get permits to do anything in the right of way, including planting a tree.
Yeah,
You are person, yeah, go ahead.
okay, so just diving in on the specifically to the tree,
I know we should talk about tactical stuff, because like, I don't want to get too carried away with like the
Well,
long term. Like,
not as much that, I'm starting to think that the CASR grant might not be exactly aligned with it. I think we could align it if we wanted to, but honestly, looking more at the CTC grant, I feel like that might actually be a better,
Should we apply for both?
yeah, I mean, I think we
If
might
you
as
don't
well.
want it, it's no skin off our back, right?
I think we might as well. I just think, I think just throwing it out there, like keep your eyes and ears out all the time for grants, because they are out there, like this was not on my radar and now it is. The only difference here is there is, there's some sort of matching.
Yeah, it said you have to do dollar for dollar matching, so if we ask for 10,000.
So we could do,
We'd have to come up with 10,000.
yeah, so we could do a fundraiser of some sort.
Businesses could,
Yeah, like, so it would be, we'd have to get a little more creative with it, but it is quite literally for planting trees.
yeah,
Where the CASR grant it's just, there's like that additional step with partnering with the park people, which would be great, and I would love to work with them on something.
Is it
But-
other parks and rec, or?
This is specifically the park people,
like a nonprofit.
Nonprofit.
Yeah.
They do Denver
Um,
districts, yeah.
and now knowing
And
that
it's
they
it's
might.
not the park trust.
No,
No.
that's Denver Parks Trust is its own. thing.
It's
So
another
now
thing. So there's a whole bunch.
People might actually be able to help us more on the
Yep.
billion level.
Well, because it's just got to be put into Dottie specs. I mean, those are easy to get.
But that's where they've worked with Donnie before.
They have
Yeah.
worked with
And they
Dottie,
actually said they are hired by Donnie to do the work or vice versa.
yeah,
So they have
So-
a relationship.
I think
Well,
we'll keep like.
So one of the things we talked about is the longer term proposition of those trees and stuff like that. And so I was thinking that maybe we could utilize this entity. Maybe it's a page on our website or something, like helping people understand you're adopting a tree. Like you got, because that's what I see happens with the businesses. They put them in and then like 6 weeks later, the trees are dead because they haven't been watered when they're young. They're just not being taken care of.
Yeah.
Well, so there is irrigation there.
Well, she said in some places there are, but there's like trees that got put in up by, up closer to Federal, that the trees are actually just dead. Like
really?
there was one, yeah. It
I
was,
mean, so, yeah,
I mean, also, so like, part of it too is that there's a lot of different agencies involved. We always run into that, and so now there's the Denver Greenway.
oh, yeah,
Um,
sustainable.
yeah, which is, an arm of Dottie, which does seem like the right people at Dottie to be talking to, but that's just like another,
Yeah, long term, like they should build out those tree wells to be like
Yeah.
stormwater swells.
yep.
Or
so,
like maybe even like take up a whole
Yeah.
parking spot and extend it near the intersections. Like I would love to see that, but we're talking like a huge.
yeah.
So, and that's that guy that reached out to us doing those like pocket things at the corners and intersections.
Where they build it
Did you
out.
see that email you CC'd on that with the guy that emailed us the other day? I wrote him back, but I haven't heard when he wants to meet.
Like the
Carl.
Jim guy?
Jim,
Yeah. Yes, I.
though, yeah,
So no, Carl has not gotten back to me yet, but,
yeah, Jim Abraham.
Who's he with?
So this tiny URL thing, and he sent these links to these things, these piazzas that they're doing. What neighborhood is he in?
Yeah, so oh yeah, where they build out, so like take up a parking spot or two.
And these corners and there's stuff for mobility that they're putting in, and so
do that instead of those temporary.
and there's a whole slideshow he sent. I should forward this to you because this is like right in your wheelhouse kind of thing. But it was kind of these things, but it kind of goes along with what you were just talking about at the corners.
I mean, I think that's the long-term goal, like just replanting a tree would still be short-term because
yeah.
trees in those 5x5, the park
Well,
person.
don't they have to be 5 by 15 now?
Well, so she said no one's gonna stop you if you just replace a tree.
Oh, I see.
So
Okay.
like you could go in and plant a tree there.
But is it one of those things where we make sure that they're like we dig down like 3 feet and put in good topsoil before the
Yeah.
new tree goes
Yeah,
in?
you would still want to do that. And it's still gonna, if you take care of it, it'll still live. It just won't grow as big and maybe not live as long.
Right.
Which is what we're seeing. Long term, it would be great to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the idea of how long it's gonna take because
We're
what
talking-
Dottie
I know
is
this
doing,
years away, like what are we gonna do?
Dottie is going neighborhood by neighborhood and like assessing
Yeah, no, I think-
essentially these greenway projects.
Right. Well, and all of
implementation.
these little things that we do, like if one of those SEPTED grants comes up, the crime prevention through environmental design grants, which are the big ones, like, or they're fairly big, like all this sort of acts as traffic calming.
Oh, yes. So
And
that
so
was the
the-
biggest concern
is-
as the businesses.
Yeah.
So
Is
Anna and I went door to door on Sunday, dropping out those flyers. And we were talking about what we were looking to do. They all brought up the traffic along Tejon.
yeah, it's just
Was their big
all
concern.
Yep.
So traffic calming includes street trees.
Yep.
Mhm.
And that's in that
Because-
SEPTED class I
Yeah.
took and I got certified and everything.
So like creating a canopy will
Yep.
slow people down.
Well,
Also-
anything with rhythm. So the
Yeah.
light poles can even act as
Lighting,
traffic calming.
yeah.
And also landscaping shows ownership. So that's also a crime preventative measure when you have ownership of a property. So any improvements you do on it, like even if it were like we did like pollinator plants at ground cover, that's
Yeah.
like the SEPTED thing, they say they have this 2 foot, 6 foot rule. So the canopy should be higher than 6 feet.
Totally.
And
Yeah,
any
don't-
ground cover shouldn't grow any higher than 2 feet, so there's not places of concealment where somebody could jump out and scary, and because it just makes it feel more comfortable to walk. So if we're doing all these things, we just document it, we document what we're doing, and it just helps if one of those other
Yeah.
grants that Elizabeth.
Should we just like go buy some or get free trees and just plant them ourselves?
Well, when is the next round of Denver Dig street one?
I mean,
because
we have that relationship
was it
with
lawn this year or was it tree this year? Because they stagger year to year,
they
right?
do?
Yeah, they used to.
And so
Because I
that
put
was
four
a
lawn street lawn trees
program
in years ago.
put
Yeah.
on by the park people.
Yeah.
So it is a good relationship.
We just need to find out
have.
what year, when they're doing
It's free
the,
trees this year. I think.
Yeah, I also
Yeah.
think if we can get
They're
a
free?
meeting set up with this Carl guy and get him on site, Cause I think a lot of this too is like, and I totally agree with prioritizing, I just think Sunnyside is in an interesting position because like from a, equitable, like we're not on the map when it comes to like,
We lost all our logo.
Yeah.
yeah, and I
We're,
think
we're in the lurch in between the two.
yeah, and so, and I, like it's a positive and a negative. I don't even, it's just is what it is, but I think, like we're not equity wise, we're not in the conversation, because we're an affluent neighborhood. I think we're not
Well,
in the mix, but I think we're getting overlooked a lot too, because we don't need it or because for this, that, and the other reason. And I just think these improvements that we're asking for are not outlandish. They're
Yeah.
safety concerns.
but I think some of
they're-
it comes back on us is that we just haven't been vocal
We
enough.
haven't
and we
been
haven't
vocal.
Organized
We've
enough,
been told no in a way that's like,
because like people
So-
like in Rhino, I mean,
They're getting a lot of stuff.
but they have very active people
Yeah.
involved, like,
it's also apples to oranges in terms of,
well, they
Right.
just, but 5-10 years ago,
yeah,
Rhino was a completely different place,
Yeah.
and they've just, it was just industrial,
yeah.
warehouses.
Well, and
Now
our,
But so my main point there is I think talking about it, and full disclosure, I was joking to Matt. I was like, who's this guy, when he was just like sending emails about the street lamps. But then truly, when you are there in person, laying eyes on it, like it's really
I
not.
thought I was crazy when I
Cool.
was stuff.
And when you see it in person, the story is a lot more,
well, increment,
it's easier to tell the story, and it's not really that hard to like, you don't have to like, you don't have to like twist it in any way. It really is like, it's a safety concern. It does not represent our neighborhood the way we want it to. It's not sustainable. It's not good for business. It's not good. And business, I think it is representative that we have vacancy in our
Oh, yeah.
brand new construction, new for lease space that's pretty limited in Sunnyside, and that tenants aren't leasing it. Like, I don't know why exactly, but I know it's like a challenge space, but I also think like,
well, this is definitely has to have an impact. I mean, all these little things.
yeah,
Individually, when you look at these little things, you're like,
Yeah,
not
but
that
as
big
a
of a deal,
whole,
but cumulatively,
if you
it
really-
adds up to a feel and a
yeah,
look that
if you want
detracts
to
from.
be here, you would be here, like, and I just think that we just need to prove ourselves, and once we do in certain areas, it'll all start to fall into place.
So along those lines, like, it sounds like Becca and Brian walked Tejon and tried to contact a few businesses along there and start to get, and then so we continued that conversation of, I think we need to sort of like get like a meet and greet or something and invite all the business owners along, let's say Tejon and 44th, and try to, because right now I don't think they're all connected with one another very well.
This might segue into, sorry to cut you off, but
Anyway, I
it's
just
a
thought that
good
that might be
segue.
helpful for this if we can get, because these are the properties that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Doing-
so I don't know if I had mentioned this yet. I know we talked about it in the Sunny board meeting, but have I mentioned the Weaver grant at all, or does that sound familiar?
No.
So Weaver, it is Troop D is actually on the advisory committee for it, but
Of course she is.
right, I know. Like, just anyways. So it is Inc. It's through Inc. And Inc. is partnering with DU and the Aspen Institute, and it's actually the Weaver Foundation is a pilot program nationally with 25 markets in the US. And so they're giving out $2,500 grants individually. And so I was on a Zoom meeting last night for that. And Troop D came and gave us a little like overview to our board meeting a couple of weeks ago. And to be perfectly honest, I didn't get like a great sense of what it was. Not to her chagrin, but like attending this meeting last night, it definitely helped me understand it a little better. So like it kind of came about, I think, after COVID, when people were just experiencing like extreme isolation, extreme lack of community, lacking social fabric in their lives in all aspects. And so the weaving concept is weaving socially and connecting, but
what does this thing do? It like gives the grant money is to like
So
get
the
people together?
grant money is literally for RNOs, first of all, so that's like,
Wow.
that's why,
Okay, we qualify.
yeah, so they basically, it was one of those grants where they were like, it's for you, like, we're just making it easy for you.
But
you
it's
should
for
do it.
connecting because of the weave.
Yeah, so the
Okay.
weave concept, so one example that helped me kind of understand, they were like, the traditional sense of like a community or volunteer or whatever, like, you know, bring your community together grant would be like a community garden where everyone has individual plots in the garden and it's still
Right.
kind of like social in nature, but individual. But then taking it a step further would be doing a farm to table dinner every month where you share
Yeah.
your, so like the idea of the weaving is like that, taking it a step further
Yeah.
and creating like ongoing social fabrication. And like,
Cool.
so like,
So that's a
So
separate
I say
organization
that-
from Inc., or is it
Ink
Through
is,
Inc.
it's ink, it's through ink.
through Inc.?
So
Okay,
that was
because
a
we had
very
talked about
long-winded
being-
way of saying that,
We need to connect with Inc.
I think that this business concept that we've been talking about could actually be a pretty good
A weaving
weaving
thing.
way to utilize this. And I feel like there's some way we can be, because one big component of it is an ongoing, like not just a one-off.
Well, yeah, so I mean, if we use that for like, say, Sunny to create a Sunny Business Association.
Yeah.
And like use this as the first topic, because
Yeah.
I think ongoing would be helpful to have a
Yeah.
Sunny Business Association.
Yeah, so that's the I was one other little tidbit of this. So Pete Tavani that owns his family owns the old Standard Fence lot at 47th and Jason.
Yeah, I talked.
And he's like the inventor guy.
Yeah.
He has set up, and there's a website, the Sunnyside Business Alliance.
Yeah.
But it's mostly all the businesses over there in
Yeah,
that
the
innovation
innovation
district.
center, yeah.
I don't know if it has to be all of those, but even if we were to set up some other entity, I think, you know, that corner of the neighborhood sort of like distinct and doesn't really get a lot of love all the time. Invite him and his organization to at least participate in whatever we set up.
Oh, okay.
It can only help to have some of those bigger businesses, because there's some,
I mean, they have a vested interest because most of those places own that property. And
Yeah.
they're looking for a
Mhm.
land grab at some point.
right, like, he wants to turn it into, just to give you like a little bit, but I talk to him quite a bit. We have lunch every once in a while. He wants to turn his little innovation corner, he wants to make an innovation lab. In fact, I think he set up a company already. And what he'd like to do on his property is PV systems that turn that entire section into an off the grid sort of microgrid for the adjoining businesses. And he's trying to sort of form a co-op that they would actually
Interesting.
share electricity in that innovation district as part of the innovation
Yeah.
side of things, which is kind of a nebulous term, but can be used for a lot of things. But it's like, if you want to define it that way, that's where he's kind of angling. I think it's kind of cool.
We should join the Sunny Business.
Well, yeah, so like when you think of that, you're like, all these people are doing these cool things, and I think the only reason they're not intertwined is just it for no, you know, malicious reason. It's just because they're just not.
No, and Pete
You
just walks
know,
around there and meets the different
Yeah,
people.
I
That's
think that like we could literally, like, I couldn't be more cliche if I tried, but like weave all of these, you
Yeah.
know, people,
So-
these businesses together in more of like a conceptual way where it's like, you know, because I think everyone probably has the same issues that they're dealing with. I think they're conducting business a little differently in their different areas probably. But I just think when you get people talking about, you know, just their business.
So just so you know, like, since you're new back to the neighborhood, like traditionally the land use committee, I've always felt has been a very reactive group. And for a lot of years, we were working on stuff like the CO7 and CO8 overlays, which took years. Like, and then the other sort of responsibilities of this land use committee was to sort of, if a developer came and wanted to get like an approval from the neighborhood, we would review all the stuff and write a letter to give to developmental services when they went in for permitting and stuff. A lot of people fell off the group after the overlays were done because I think it just burned out a bunch of people. Like, And so participation, I mean, there were months and months, maybe a year where there was like 2 or 3 of us on the calls, you know. So one of the things was I'd like to sort of drive up like participation by coming back to in-person things. But I've also felt for any lack of other entity I can think of, why not just make this a more proactive group and start doing things that people can see in the neighborhood and say, hey, I mean, we're developing our neighborhood. So I feel like even though the CO7 and CO8 overlays were like pretty important to get done, nobody, unless you're pulling a building permit, is actually going to pay attention to it because you're not going to see it on a daily basis that it's changing the neighborhood or affecting it. And so nobody's told us that we can't be proactive. Like, so I'm just like, well, let's just fake it till we make it and we'll do this type of stuff. And whether this is the exact entity that should be doing these type of things or not, I don't know. Maybe it should be the full RNO group that
I would love that.
that does this stuff. But Becca and I have just sort of talked, well, let's start it here. She's on the board, so she would be able to take this stuff to there. In fact, I was going to show up tomorrow night. We can just kind of tell them what we're working on.
It's next week.
Oh, it's next week.
Yeah.
Okay, that works out better for me actually,
Yeah.
scheduling wise anyway. But we thought we'd just give like a presentation to the board and say, look, here's what we're kind of doing, and we'd love your guys' support and making sure that, you know, I don't know if there's any, you could be honest with you, I don't know if there's like any law, like
No.
like written rules that says what we have or can't do in this group.
No, we have to organize as a neighborhood.
Yeah,
But I keep realizing the city's not gonna save us, we're gonna save ourselves, like the city's not.
the exact conversation we had with Brian
Yeah.
yesterday. You know, it's like, this is our, you know, from higher up is not going to develop this neighborhood the way we want it to be. And the way I feel
Yeah.
like people that live in this neighborhood want to see the growth of the neighborhood.
Yeah, no, they're not looking after our best interests or anything,
No.
otherwise they'd be fixing and doing things
Yeah.
that they're supposed to.
Yeah.
So for lack of any other direction or anything, we just said, well, let's just start doing this stuff and see what happens. So just to give you an overview of like, because this doesn't typically fall underneath some sort of, at one point it was really called like, PCD, like planning community development or something, but that was too close to community and planning development downtown or vice versa. So they changed it to land use. But I think it still works. I mean, we're talking about land in public realm, so to speak, pretty much. With all these improvements that we're discussing. So I think I think you can twist it. It fits in the bucket.
Yeah,
So, well, do we start with like something like the business and this start figuring out? Because that seems like a pretty easy one, and it ties back into this tree thing because that could be a topic that.
So, I mean,
And the lights.
I think,
yeah,
so the Weaver Award or the Weaver Grant, it's $2,500, which obviously is not a ton of money. But, you know, I think.
No, but could we use $2,500 to like go, like we were talking about supporting local businesses, like, and taking some of the money that we can get as an organization. And like, for example, we were saying we'll use the Spice Kitchen because it seems like they're hurting a little bit. And that's a great space. Maybe we host a business get together where we pay for the non-alcoholic beverages and the food for a business meeting or whatever you want to call it.
yeah. I mean, that would be nice. I don't even know if we need the grant to like move forward with it. But like if we get it, I think we could use it to do something.
We were like saying like, okay, let's just give them the money for the food. So like, because
Yeah, I mean.
it seems like I was in there with Reed, Weimer and Chandler. And we were there for an hour and a half talking. We were the only people in the restaurant. Not a single person came in the entire rest of the time we were there. I was like, and this was like noon on like a Thursday.
Yeah.
It's like there should have been people in there. And I get it, it's hot. Like maybe that's not like Indian food weather, but I mean, it's still good. I mean,
It's delicious.
I think the real issue is like understanding why that is. I don't know if that's like on us, but like that's what I would want to know is like,
what do you mean?
like why is no one in there? Like what's.
Well, it's the same question we had for the Phillips 66.
No, I know, that's what
Why the hell isn't
that's
anybody
what
renting that
I mean,
place?
that's like when I said like our one new construction that's sat vacant for over a year. Like,
Yeah.
I want to know why that is. I want to know why no one's leasing.
I had
it.
even heard that what's the taco place? El Jefe is not doing very well.
doesn't look like it is doing very well every time.
There
but
was a few
yeah.
people on the soccer game the other night in there watching, but
Yeah,
like
but-
6 at the bar.
I mean, the
That was
thing is
it.
like, these are like, in theory, everywhere in our neighborhood is like the heart of the neighborhood. It's, it's not a very big neighborhood, so.
It's definitely not as busy as like town. I think it's somewhat because it's dilapidated. It's not great to walk down. It's like everything's broken and
Yeah, I think that these are
Well-
assumptions, but I think that like, it would be really interesting to hear this from the business
what
owners.
we did hear specifically from 3 business owners.
Yeah, so, like,
Yeah.
Yeah, getting that feedback. And I know it's kind of uncomfortable to ask.
Well,
like,
I've
if
got
a
data
business is
that
struggling.
shows densities that support different business types, and I'll put together a slideshow of that. Like if you're a grocery store, you have a bigger radius of attraction from, and there's the density that supports that type of business. Or if you're a restaurant, there's a density. Generally speaking, like a lot of the smaller businesses need somewhere between 9 to 12 households per acre to start to break even. Even bus transportation is like around the 12
Yeah.
households to sort of, not that RTD is ever going to break even, but to just make it a viable bus route that they can run every 15 minutes and that sort of thing is like 12 households an
I
acre.
mean, the Zuni's doing
Within a 15-minute walk.
Well, the zombies.
Oh, I just.
Oh, we just went for my wife's birthday
Yeah.
the other
I
night.
mean, they're doing.
I love that.
So it's not.
They're always packed. They're always packed.
Yeah, exactly.
We were shocked because we went a little late the other night because my son was working at Little Man and got off at it was like 8 and there was one table open. And we're like, oh, thank God.
And
I've started making reservations
so I think
there.
good places can do it.
Can do well.
And draw in. I think a lot of our stuff is overpriced. It's not meant for the neighborhood. It's meant for
Yeah.
drawing people from the outside. Wolf's Taylor,
Well,
for
yeah.
instance, is not like a go-to every night.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's not,
Not
doesn't
for
have
us.
$300 to spend.
But I do think we could get more organic traffic and like stuff if it was a nice place to walk and hang
Yeah.
out, but it's just not because of all these. I don't know, I'm trying to break the glass for more people so they notice it, but I think people walk by and don't even really notice how like dilapidated it is, but it's pretty like run down.
It is. Truthfully, like, I didn't notice until I did, and I was like,
So like, I think we just need to come up with more like tactical ways for us as a committee to do something. I mean, I do think we have some grandiose plans that I do want to see come in time, but like, I think it's like bring the businesses together.
Yeah.
One, because
Yep.
that'll create an association that they can exchange ideas. I don't even know if we need a grant for that. I think we just need to build up our Sunny business platform.
So is there a Sunny Business?
Yeah.
What is it?
a
Is
Sunny
it
Business
actual
membership.
entity?
No, we have a Sunny business membership.
Yeah, well,
This-
yeah, I pay, I
No, but
sponsor
there's a business
Suni.
one. There's a business.
so that's what Brian is working on building
There's a
back
household
up.
membership and a business membership.
Yeah, and I do
It's a-
both. Like my wife and I do, my wife and I every year at the pizza party is when we just
Like,
renew our
it
Sunny one.
doesn't
But
give
I
you
give
anything.
like Troopy like $100 a year for something. I
Yeah,
don't
but
know where it
there's
goes
no
into
benefit.
from Yardstick
It
Studio.
doesn't get you-
Well, it didn't even get my
Maybe-
it didn't even get my logo on the website
Yeah.
because she
Yeah,
was
that's
just
the
like, well, we're redoing the website, and I was like, I paid you
For
like
3
$100.
years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so,
I think reinvigorating that. because
Yeah,
then we can get these
absolutely.
Business contacts.
yeah,
And then we can start to say, if you're on 38th, join the LMD board, please. If you're in the Sunny Lab, share some ideas with us. They should all be members too. So I
Yeah.
think maybe that is the catalyst also is
I agree.
reinvigorate the
Yeah.
Sunny business membership.
Well,
And
and
start to use those contacts to make these changes, and it should really be the property owners and businesses should be joining.
Brian and I were talking yesterday that there's kind of 2 different entities we're talking about here. So there's people like me that work from home.
Mhm.
And Brian works from home. I don't know why I'm pointing that way. He's on Tejon. But Brian works from home too. And so our businesses, and I've been here for 30 years or whatever, and work in the neighborhood, but we don't have a storefront. We're
There's
not
no
a
sandwich
restaurant.
place.
Yeah, but then there's those businesses that along Tejon and 44th that have a different sort of interest from a business perspective. But Brian and I were like, we'd still like to be part of that group, even though we're not struggling with some of the same issues that say that people on 44th are. Like, I'm not trying to attract clients to my house. You know what I mean? Like, and he doesn't either. He just works from home. Yeah. Sometimes I have clients come over to my backyard and hang out, but it's not like I'm a walk-in business. But I'd still like to be part of that business community. And
For sure.
participated in, I think, and he seemed to think that that didn't detract from it. And maybe we could get a lot more. I'm sure there's a ton of people that work from home that have home-based businesses that I don't even know about that are in Sunnyside.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
would be cool to tap into that.
yeah, I mean, I think we could definitely get that crowd. I think we need to focus on like the corridors too, like where we're.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
kind of two different
Yeah,
kinds of
but if
businesses.
we offer a benefit for them, then people may be more apt to join it.
Yeah.
I think right now we're not, it's,
Well, what if there were like quarterly things?
well, that's
That's
what,
what we-
like, that's what I am envisioning. The, like, getting more like programmatic with like the Weaver.
Because I
There's
feel
an
like,
event space over in near I don't know what it's called.
Or
Right,
if
right.
businesses want to sponsor each time
Yeah.
and
Just
use
like the
their
Sunny
venue
Sippers.
as a way to, but like my biggest thing with the sippers is first of all, I don't want them to be focused around alcohol. Love me a beverage, but I just think not everyone does.
Yeah.
And not saying it can't involve alcohol. I just think like quite like having the name involving alcohol, I just like don't think is it. So
Yeah,
I've voiced strong opinions about that, and I think there's talks around changing that, but I think like having the business like have more say in what that event looks like for themselves.
do we have any
Um,
business owners on the Sunny board or any business? people?
No, but
well, it was like when, what's his name? Forget his name, the furniture. They made the kids' toys out of
Oh,
plywood.
yeah.
God, I can't think of his name, but
Did they close or?
he doesn't live in the neighborhood, but his business was here and he was on the land use committee for years.
it's
But
also confusing, if I'm being honest. Like, I think
Yeah.
having like businesses that are on
Well-
the like spotlight page that don't do business in Sunnyside.
his business was in
Okay.
Sunnyside, but he lives over in
But they're,
Highlands.
wish I could change my.
Because now he's on the
but still.
Highlands committee. He's on their Highlands one.
There's
So
ones that, well, it's funny because as I was looking at businesses to email for the LMB, some on this side are called Highlands and then there's some on that side called Sunnyside and then.
Yeah,
people are just like whatever works best for them.
Confusing, but,
Name.
I feel like if we could get these people together too, there might be some like
But what, yeah,
it's like some inspiration that happens if these people are talking to one another. Like a business might say, "Hey, I'm going to partner with this other business, and we're going to put some event together that we're going to help
Yeah,
each other
that-
out." Like, but
like,
yeah, there could be this collaborative thing where
Yeah.
even if it's just an informal social gathering that this Weaver thing helps us put together,
yeah.
little sparks might happen with these people that are getting together that
Yeah.
otherwise wouldn't be getting
So
together.
the way that I actually, this was like a very, very loose idea, so like bear with me, but because Brian and I actually caught up for like a second today, because the way I look at it is sort of twofold. Like we both have reasons to want to like promote this and help the businesses out, but I think he's looking at it for more of like the social and networking aspect, which is great, and I'm looking at it for more of the like land use, like functional kind of like.
Do you work in the neighborhood or what do you do?
Not right now.
Oh.
That's why I'm here.
Hell yeah. Love that.
Well,
I want to do what you're doing.
what have you done or what, or is this a
It's
life
like-
change and you're just looking for a new career or?
Purposely taking this year off and I. don't know
Nice, good for
What's
you.
gonna happen.
Nice.
But background is in software product management.
oh, nice.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
That for a little bit.
Everyone deserves some time off. It's the best.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I did that between jobs a couple years ago.
I
It
did
was
too.
amazing. I enjoyed it a little too much, I
little.
think. But
Well,
so,
so how do we start?
well, so the idea I had, which
Yeah.
like, this was just spitballing a tiny bit, so again, like, I know money wise, we're not working with a lot, but I was thinking like, if we were working with the business and sort of like giving them a leg up, if you will, so like not fully implementing whatever we did for them, but sort of like working with them, we could take the grant and almost do like little mini grants. Like grant is probably not the right word, but like say $200 or like not a lot of money
Like not
to
not
do,
spend it all in one place.
or like distribute it in even amounts for like however many businesses, and have like a program in place that X amount of dollars gets you for each event, and then they
So you're talking
decide.
about hosting like some sort of social gathering event.
Yeah, but where like they decide like if they want to do like a speaker or like a, whatever, and we
So,
give
okay.
them money for like I don't know if the money is like strict for certain items that we decide what those are, or if it's just like, here's $200, do what you want for it with it. And we do like your
Well, what
social
if we-
media marketing and like kind of that's what's structured around it, but where we like do the legwork where we're bringing the people there and like advertising it or whatever. But like, again, this is the part I'm not entirely sure of, but where like we are just kind of like boosting it a little. I don't
Maybe
know.
we don't need to know exactly, like,
Yeah.
it's one of those things, like, maybe we just try to get this thing started, figure out if we can get the grant, we come up with maybe a few high level ideas to sort of get the ball rolling, and, maybe this committee, if there's something questionable that pops up that somebody wants to do, we can say, yeah, we're not gonna be able to spend money on something like that, but why don't you tweak it? I mean, it's one of those things, like, we'll know it when we see it, that it's probably kind of pushing the boundary of what
Yeah.
we're kind of thinking about.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we could benefit from that, but I feel like, is Brian leading that business thing? Like, I feel like we could benefit.
He talked about wanting to do that.
Yeah, so I feel like, to me, push him or help him to do that, but like, we could still benefit from the business.
Yeah.
I don't know if the land use group needs to be like.
But so I should.
Oh, maybe he
probably-
manages it. Maybe he
That's what
sets
I'm
it up. He
Yeah.
manages it. He sets it up.
But
But
I
what
approached
entity?
Brian.
But what entity does that go through? Does it go through Suni?
Yeah, I would say it goes through. I don't think it really matters if it's
Like
like
a subcommittee.
I think
No,
yeah,
it's
it's
like a
Sunny
subcommittee of
ultimately.
Suni. Yeah, it's a subcommittee
Yeah.
of Suni.
But so
I like that
I've
idea.
engaged Brian with that exact thought that like he's already working at it on it in one capacity. We're working on it in another capacity. Like there's no reason for us to be like approaching this from different angles. Like we should
No.
very much be doing this together.
Well, and then he can just come to this meeting once a month and
Yeah.
have 10 minutes to give us updates on what they're working on.
Yeah.
There, just to
And
keep
because
us
we're not trying
in
to do event
tune if we're
planning,
working on
you
some
know?
lighting stuff that he should be aware of,
Yeah.
like,
So
we get the businesses involved.
yeah. And so like that's how I pictured
I think
it.
that's a great idea.
Is like him doing sort of like the networking, like planning, that side of it. And
Has he already
he,
started on that? I heard him say that he's been going to like some networking events.
yes,
Does he have
is-
some business contacts?
he has started on it. And like we as Sunny have a bunch of business contacts. So that's where,
Yeah,
because the big thing too is like, I don't want to be competing internally with Sunny. It's not competing, but just like, working.
way.
We need to be working with each other.
Yeah, but like we talked about, redistributing some of the responsibilities so that there's more people working on
Yeah.
less things.
So
How we keep people from getting.
I
burned out.
essentially like
Just-
ran this by Brian today of just like, because like even.
What's it called? It's in the business group, or what is there a name for
there's a
it?
business membership.
Membership.
I mean, we should
Yeah.
just start with that, like, to be part of it, you should also pay the membership, because
Well,
that's
that's,
fun
I mean,
stuff.
that's a big
Yep.
part of it is that like, that also benefits getting people
And
to,
part of the benefit should be your logos on the website, that
Yeah.
should be.
which like,
I got a new logo this week.
And it
My
should be
brother was
on
working
the
on it.
Yeah.
Newsletter
Yeah.
every time.
and what we want is like ultimately where at some point when someone's like, what is that what does that $120 get me? Where we'll have an answer and it'll be a good answer and that's what it'll get them.
So this can even be like for the different one, and like you said, each kind of business is gonna need their own sort of thing to discover. But like we talked about, like maybe restaurants, like we do, like Suni can periodically sponsor like flash restaurant mobs, like
Yeah.
we could.
If they maybe chip in a little more or something, like that could be different tiers.
Well,
That's
it could
what
be,
Brian was
it could be
talking
part of your, membership there is like, we're gonna, like when we do like those walks with Phil, like, we're gonna start the walk at your business and end the walk, or end the walk at your business. Like we kind of did that night. We ended up in Monkey Barrel,
Mhm.
like, do things to encourage, the growth. And we talked about maybe doing like somebody brought up the idea of like maybe like a food walk through the neighborhood where like maybe SUNY has like these little punch cards that if you patronize all
They
of it
did
and you
have that
fill
at
it
one point.
and you fill it up, then you can qualify for like a raffle or something
Oh, really?
and SUNY has the money to like
You
give
used to
out the
get like a
prize.
discount card. if you
Yeah.
joined.
Yeah, so just like
But we could do it
something,
like for the month of August, you have to hit like 15 places and, you know, get your card punched. And then you turn it back into SUNY
Yeah,
and then you get like a prize or something.
yeah,
like-
so,
A free SUNY, a Sunnyside t-shirt if you fill your punch card.
yeah, or like maybe we have a logo designed for the Sunnyside Business Alliance and
Oh,
that's
that's
part of the
good.
cost, like just something. Cause another thing that they said last night
We'll
was
have to talk to
like,
Pete about the alliance part because
what, you,
yeah.
okay, whatever. it
because
is.
he like
know,
probably knowing Pete, he probably copyrighted that name because he's like
It
a
didn't mean
patent guy.
alliance, sorry, Pete, just kidding. One thing they
He's
said
not on
last
here, is he?
night was
No.
that, the parameters for using the funds are pretty loose,
Mm.
which I like to hear. I feel like.
Well, because
people hear
different
that
businesses are going to
every
have
day.
different needs if we're trying to
Well,
help do unique things.
Yeah, but like for us, as like using the grant money, like
Alright.
it's loose for us in that.
Oh,
like,
okay.
We don't, it's not like you can only use it for. They did specifically say no infrastructure or like,
Oh, really?
obviously, but $2,500 won't get you very far.
No, but I mean, it could be, I don't know, all sorts of things.
Yeah, so,
I like that. And, like, well, let's talk to Brian about getting that rolling
yeah, so I talked to him, I did actually touch base with him today.
and how we go about getting like contacting more of these people too. Like,
Well-
I mean, I suppose it's easy to do along Tejon and
Yeah.
stuff, but there's other businesses all over the neighborhood.
It's like, if you, now knowing that this survey exists and there's a QR code and like, just, if you think about it and you're in a business, like. Just, bring up the
What's the link
survey
with
and
the
they'll,
QR code? I don't know if I've
Um,
seen this survey. I should go take it. I have a business in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I showed it to you.
You should
The other day, I think.
look at a lot of shit.
You did. Um.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Email me that link. 'Cause I mean, where is that posted? Like on the website or?
it's not on the website.
Is it the one on the flyers we,
Yeah.
posted?
So it's on the monthly newsletter?
It's gonna be.
Yeah,
Okay,
So it's on flyers we handed out, it's on the newsletter and it's
Yeah.
all posted on.
I didn't
So
get a flyer, so.
we should,
Well, this was just.
Yeah, this was
Originally, it was
just-
just where we're trying to. get-
Oh, really? Okay, so I didn't miss it.
No, no, no.
Okay, I was like, well, I didn't see
We
it.
had that like three.
this is
posted.
also like one of those where I'm like,
This was very targeted to where the trees and.
Yeah.
Do you want the color one or do you like it black and white?
we
I
were just trying
printed it
to
black and white.
Oh, okay.
not
You can-
for further costs,
Oh, for the printable part
Yeah.
side of it. Yeah.
Cause there's a QR code, so it makes it
Yeah.
super easy.
No,
to
I just did
like-
one for our barbecue last night.
Yeah.
Well, I
If
didn't do the
if you
QR code.
happen to
but
see,
my
like,
neighbor did.
be eating Nozomi or, whatever, just run
Cool.
this by them and we'll start collecting data, cause then it goes straight.
Well, yeah,
to-
forward me that so I can
Um,
finish sharing it.
Yeah, then
I'm
it
gonna-
goes straight to this spreadsheet where, we've got
That's-
4 people filled it out now.
That's exactly what we need to do. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Only one organic.
wait, what do you mean?
The other two people. I know.
How'd you do the QR code thing? Do you have a paid account?
No, you just do it. Just,
Yeah,
On
I
the
can do them on
freebie one?
Canva, but there's.
you just Google for QR code. It's just like a URL shortener.
Yeah.
You can use free QR codes.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there was a way to do it and I was just like, I'm not signing up for some
No, you
subscription.
don't. So. I feel like we have a lot of ideas and a lot of grants possible, because even like last time I think Austin said he was interested in doing that walking grant.
Yeah,
Did he ever do it?
he didn't until he just responded.
I feel like we need to like create some action items of like.
Yeah,
Yes.
like,
yeah.
start taking some.
Cause
steps.
the one thing with the historic Denver one is like, I just think people will be really excited about that. I wanna see that one happen.
Which one is
Um,
this?
This would be the walking tour.
The walking
So
tour.
historic Denver does, and gives you grants for walking tours.
Yep.
And we were thinking about putting QR codes around the town because some guy, what's his name?
Feel good.
Phil Goodstein.
Did a,
He's
Walking tour for us.
he's a pretty prolific writer. I mean, I didn't realize he has like a dozen books.
all
Like,
about Denver.
and I've got two of them I'm reading right now. The one's called North Side Story, and it's pretty much about North Denver. And there's another one called The Seedier Side of Denver, which is kind of fun. It's a smaller book, but it just talks about like downtown Market Street and
Oh,
being like
interesting.
Yeah, they
being
also have a
like-
bunch of like YouTube.
like brothels and
And if we could just have them record those, we should
Well,
ask them. to
well,
record
so okay, so let me fill you in on a little bit. I've been working on that side of things. So I met with
or get
with I talked to Phil. He's super interested, although he doesn't have the bandwidth to sort of do it himself. He's going to be looking for us to. I think we can get him into a studio and record him.
Yeah,
And he has had that videographer guy that was there at the
Yeah.
walk, Jason. I went and had coffee with him. He would like to find some way that the hundreds and hundreds of hours he's recorded could, he could make a little money off of it and get paid for his services. Like he's not going to give it away for free.
yeah.
And I appreciate that. That's what he does for a living.
That's right.
And that's what the grant money can help. And so he's down for it. In fact, he's called me like twice and asking how it's coming. And I was like, well, we're just trying, we haven't had our meeting this month. So I've also talked to Gabriel, I forget his last name. He's a school teacher at North. He's a social studies teacher, but he also put together a program at North where they've got some students doing podcasts out of North now. Their topic for this semester is like the gentrification of North Denver. And so their podcasts are all about that, but they have like studio stuff. They've got equipment. They've got, like journalism students at North that are really interested in kind of outgoing students that kind of go above and beyond, like that are eager. And then I've also talked to Vicky at Bucket List Community News, and she hires interns from like Regis and CCD and things like that are journalism majors as real employees, but they also record radio show and
nice.
they do so.
But
Just
you
think-
get connected with Austin because he's working on the grant.
Austin, like that lives right at the
Yeah.
corner of. I haven't talked to him in a while, but
Should be. next
so
week.
I think that's a low hanging fruit one.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
feel like because he showed interest in doing it. It's like
He
we
just,
just got to follow through.
Yep. And so I think we need to, let's put that on the thing for,
Yeah.
it's like right away.
Because those, getting a grant and following through with it would be fantastic.
Well, and I had thought these things would just be like YouTube videos that we have and people could hit play and it would be self-guided. But then Gabriel was telling me there's a software out there that actually geolocates you when you're
Oh, cool.
walking and will play the media that you designate to play at the point. So you could create your own walking tours. Like literally everyone's would be different because depending on where they're walking in the neighborhood. And all we'd have to do is get Jason, the videographer guy, to give us some sort of catalog of what he's recorded and where it's at. And then we can start to play off of, where we need.
towards them on site where Bill talked.
He walked and recorded when we did that.
audio
But
is the best.
no. And that's why I think what we need to do is I think if we're going to do like self-guided tours that go specific places, we pick the walkway or have Phil help us pick the walkway. And then we kind of figure out what the timing is and then just sit him down in a studio and get all the snippets we need and somebody can edit it together.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to like maybe sit for hours and do it. Maybe we get like a couple half an hour things a couple times a week or something out of him. And then we just get somebody like Austin to edit it back together into some sort of.
Yeah, or if we start by asking Phil like what his recommendation would be.
Yeah,
like, for his
exactly.
tour.
What-
I also think.
I think that's where we start. Say, hey, Phil,
Yeah, what would
if you had a dream tour you
Yeah.
could give through Sunnyside, what would it be?
Yeah.
Let's start with this.
I think a cool way to get like tie in with businesses is like if a business is in a building that you would want to know the history of. I think that would just, maybe that's just me being a nerd, but like. Diebold, for example, I'm like, that is an old industrial building. I'm sure
Bill
there's
talked about doing a beer tour.
Yeah, so I think like,
He said there's enough breweries in Sunnyside to do
That-
a beer tour.
yeah, well, to me, like.
I didn't even know that because I don't drink.
Being on or having a business membership, like not saying we could do that for every single establishment, but like something like that where like. That is a draw. I think that's really cool. Like we can promote having that on social media, not just the business itself, but like. That's something that like people would just like know to go there even more because of something like that. you
Well,
know,
I was also thinking that like when you get to interesting places like that where there's like a deeper dive,
Mhm.
like, we talked about maybe those like epoxy on plaques and maybe it has the Sunnyside logo and then there's a QR code where if you want to know more,
Yeah,
you
well, that's
know,
what I was getting at.
yeah,
Um,
you could, do the die bolt one.
Yeah.
It'll give you
Yeah,
the history of
because
the,
I'm
take it
like-
to their website.
yeah, well, because then, I mean, naturally, that's just like a way to like build, awareness with that establishment, with that brand, that business, and want to go back there.
And maybe
And
that could be
also
through
like the
Any
neighborhood.
website somehow.
Oh, yeah, I think it's.
Yeah, no, I definitely think
Yeah.
it should be like
Posted there or
posted there. But I think the more that you have the ability to click around and get to like, this business through this business, like I just think that connectivity, that weaving, if you will.
There is that, yes, you are here grant too.
Yep.
So we have that on the agenda because she just
Okay.
put it in.
So I looked at it because of that.
Yeah.
and Amanda, I
Yeah.
don't know if you got her.
Sandoval?
That's where I got it.
Well,
again.
Amanda Sandoval.
She sent it in her
Yeah.
in the
We
July
just got one. And they're doing.
Yeah, for
mural
the
on underpass.
underpasses.
So I
I
thought-
know, which
I thought we could do the.
Well, so-
With your
so-
doing the mural at 44th and Tahoe with the big sun in the intersection.
Oh yeah, well, I've done, oh, in the intersection. Yeah.
Painted
I've,
mural.
I've done like 15 of those so far this summer. The little
Oh,
ones
yeah,
on the
yeah.
corners, the
Have you
spray on
done
the sidewalk.
38? You should
No,
do
not
38.
yet. I should do 38th.
I
I
know you
ran out
did,
of spray
yeah.
paint and I had to buy, I need you like, I can reimburse me. I'm buying
Okay.
like cans of spray paint.
thing though is like there's some cool artists that have ties to the neighborhood that
Mm.
I don't know, but just like the artist that's on the side of Cherry Bean, Jerry Harmio.
Oh, okay.
He's still alive, and
Or the
I
one
just-
at Shoshone and
Yeah.
41st.
I don't know. I think that would be.
Yeah, it should be a local,
Um,
for sure. I do wanna coordinate it though, cause like I'm tempted to just like go and start applying for some of these grants.
Yeah,
But
no,
I don't wanna make sure we're not like crossing.
no, I
paths.
think so. I feel like I'm overseeing it.
So-
I've been trying to like keep people accountable, but
So on that mural side, Amanda nominated me to be on the art selection committee for La Raza Park.
Oh, shit.
So Mo Graham reached out to me and I filled out the
Where they did that
application.
work in Russell.
I think it's on the basketball court or something. And so they're gonna I'm just on the one where whatever artists bring to the
Russell's just
table.
getting all our funds right.
Yeah, well, but I also talked to Mo on the side and told her about this idea because I had identified a bunch of like stuff along 44th where I thought there would be good mural walls. And, a lot of the other neighborhoods have gotten grants to do artwork on the communication boxes that are all
Oh, yeah.
like, and
They're
so-
terrible. Most of them are deteriorated.
yeah.
Do they-
Oh, ours are horrible.
Yeah.
But if you go down like over like off of 26 and Federal, there's one that's like painted like in like some artist did some shit on. And I was like,
yeah, the PS or the PSYAH.
but she was busy for June and she wanted to reconnect in July. And she says, I would love to help you guys with some sort of art stuff in Sunnyside. And she kind of pulled a little bit away from murals specifically. And she was talking about sculptures and all sorts of other types. She goes, why limit yourself to like one type of art? And I was like, I don't know. I just brought that up. And so she seems very excited to help us out on that side. So I have the connection with her because of the committee and we're going to be starting. She keeps sending these things like, we're still trying to
So like
finalize.
you have driven on Federal past Jeff Park. They
Yeah.
did some, but like they weren't sanctioned. Like I think we just need to start doing shit. Like we're trying to follow the rules. And
Yeah,
like,
tactical.
keep getting- we keep
Well,
getting
it's like my
screwed.
little pocket park idea I wanted to do for coffee twice a month.
What's that?
Well,
Let's do it.
I had an idea of like getting a piece of turf that's 8.5 feet by 23 feet, which is a standard city parking space.
Oh,
That's how they define it at City of Denver. Like a parallel
Yeah.
spot is like 8.5 by 23. And I was like, and then I went online and I was looking at like these cheap like cafe tables with the chairs like from Target. They
Yeah.
were like $100 for like a set. And I was like, well, if we got like 4 little sets and then just get like one of the local coffee places to like give you your little box or whatever.
in front
And
of church.
just pop up at like from 9 to 11, some random morning on streets where we want to encourage like walkability, where people would just be, and we've got the Suni little like pull up poster thing on the
Yeah.
weight.
Let's do it.
And I was like, if you just randomly popped up and there was this grass little area with like a fake tree and a couple of cafe tables, not something that took a lot to pop up. And I asked Elizabeth Morales at Dottie, like,
she's
okay, what do I
listening.
need to do? She was like, oh, it's like a 3-month application
Exactly.
process, and you have to book these things months in advance, and you have to like go to public hearings to do it. I was
They're
like,
also holding our money
Nope.
hostage, like,
Yeah.
they're not gonna fucking work with us.
yeah, I was like, nope. And so I'm like thinking, let's just, I mean, I would do it as a sunny, wear my sunny
Yeah.
shirt and just sit out there from 9 to 11, drink a coffee, and whoever stops by with their dog, just sit and stop
And
and
talk to them about all
and-
our initiatives.
and then talk about this stuff.
Yeah,
And people that weren't normally going to stumble across the meeting or something like that. And I think it would be fun. I mean, like, and we just have to get enough people that it wasn't a burden on somebody. She's offering up her space to store stuff at her house. So because that was the limiting thing before, because Troopy was like, we don't have a place to keep all that. And I was like,
that's not a reason to
Yeah.
play status quo.
so I will reach back out to my turf supplier because I was, I was like,
that you're the
I don't,
first supplier.
well,
Oh,
for years I'm an
landscape,
architect. So
yeah.
like, so I always like, I could probably find a piece that small as a cutoff at the end of a roll somewhere almost. And we could probably get it donated and they
I
can
mean,
use
we
it.
should make a list of these, like, some activities or promotions to do in between the meetings, and then like, I'm happy to take on like one of the grants and write them.
I think I had
Yeah, I
this.
think and like, we should really push Austin. He was into it. He asked about it. What
No,
did we-
yeah, he responded and,
We should
he,
get those in sooner than later.
yeah, no, I know. I
right here.
responded and.
So here's my little pocket park idea. So it was like set up just something like this with some chairs. I didn't even want to go this crazy that one, but those were the little chairs I found at Target. I was like, how cute would that be? Just set like a few of those up on the side and just show like what a car takes up.
Well, the bike,
one
to do that with bike lanes, like temporary bike lanes.
Yep. Well, and we're going to do that for our barbecue our block party this year. I was talking to Matthew Elliott. He's and so Dottie changed their calc micro grants, and it's very specific to like last mile mobility. It used to be kind of get the grant. We got like $2,000 last year just for the block party. We didn't really have to have
You
an
used a
agenda.
calc grant for that?
Yep.
Really?
They gave me
I
$2,000.
thought Denver Days does that, like.
No, Denver Days says the street closure, and I missed the cutoff. They already filled the 50 spots for this year. They do the barricades, so they'll pay for the
Another thing we
barricades.
should just be able to do for free. We should just.
Yeah,
park our trucks
exactly.
there.
No, it's like $340 to
Ridiculous.
barricade your street off for the day. And so we used part of our we've used part of our $2,000 for the barricades last year. And so last night I paid $150 out of my own pocket for the insurance for the day and got the application in for the street closure. And I'll get my neighbors to pay me back. But like, we're going to miss we're going to have to pay for the barricade. So I thought, as I was reading through the submittal requirements, it all has to do around bikes or something. And he just sent me a thing. It's on my phone over there, but he texted me like he had somebody get a calc grant for a barbecue, and they made a street lane with cones with part of the grant money along one half of the street, or that one parking lane, right? And the rest was left open for the barbecue.
Yeah.
And that's how they did it. So I'm going to try to do that this year. I don't know if we'll get it or not, but yeah. All right.
I wonder if we could use one of those grants or calc grants to put in a crosswalk at 40th and Tejon.
Isn't something going on there already? Because I heard that
So-
somebody got hit by a car.
You know, that's the Nesio guy told us that a motorcycle ran into someone.
At
And that
40th
was-
and Tejon?
Yeah, that's like the beginning of this district, and it's just terribly like.
So right after.
That's
that,
at Nesio or Nesio, whatever it
Yeah.
is.
I saw them, like, somebody's out there surveying.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that might be for the water main.
Yeah,
I
I
like-
don't know. The timing was interesting though.
I feel like we should just.
Figure it out.
I don't like. Is that something we could just go paint ourselves? It's so ridiculous. Like these.
They need to stop.
They still haven't done.
Well, you can't do the permanent crap, like, because they're going to require that it's done all up to Dottie and CDOT specs and all that
That's gonna
stuff.
take years. And
It's take years and stuff.
They
like,
still haven't
could we-
changed the lighting.
so there's some limited colors with the paint I've been using from Granger. It's a chalk paint, and those little things on the sidewalk that I've painted is just using the chalk paint, so it comes off in about 4 or 5 months.
Oh, really?
That's how long they've been lasting on the sidewalks. Now they're probably not going to last that long on a street with car traffic. But I've seen that you can actually, with food coloring and cornstarch, make a street paint that's, environmentally friendly and stuff. And you could just use 4-inch rollers. And so we might be able to do something like that if somebody has a 5-gallon
I mean,
bucket.
that's the part of, that's the start of that business district.
Yep.
Really, both ends should be, because there's the crosswalk in the middle, but like,
Yeah,
there's
create a
just-
sense of place and,
Yeah.
and like a focal point.
It's so
Most safe,
dangerous.
it's so dangerous.
Yeah.
Like I traverse that a lot. and
Yes.
Pulling out in my car.
Well,
I
because
it's always like look both ways, say a prayer.
people go so fast. Like I was,
Too fast.
I crossed at 44th and Tejon, like right in front of Monkey Barrel, going over to the park the other day with the dogs. And there was this fancy, like electric, like Chrysler car there. And he was waiting like an awfully long time at this three-way stop. And I was like, why? So I turned to watch because I was like, why is he just sitting there? Well, what he was doing is waiting for the other car that was ahead of him to get all the way down to 46.
Flip around.
No, so he could, I mean, he must have gotten to 80 miles an hour before he hit 46. I mean, it was the fastest car I've ever seen. Like,
Oh, such fast.
no, and it was just like, I mean, I just crossed that street with the dogs. And had he been like a few minutes earlier, I would have got creamed.
Yeah, I don't know how to get Valley's attention on all this. I mean, we've listed out 100 different things we could do. Like, I don't know if we just like start doing some of it ourselves and then some of it with grants.
So are you familiar with Strong Towns? It's a traffic engineer guy that started up this thing about, the urban design and walkable cities and stuff, but I've been a member for years and years, and he's written a few books. His name's Charles Marone, but it's a national organization, but they have these monthly newsletters. And this month's was, if you have to do traffic calming measures on your street was designed wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, totally.
And it's because he's an old traffic engineer, and he's lost his licensing now because he said so many bad things about traffic engineers that organization in their bylaws says if you're a member, you're not allowed to say bad shit about us. And he's like, well, he doesn't do engineering anymore, but he said, he calls himself a recovering traffic engineer. But it was interesting that he bring that up in the article from this month's newsletter was you've designed your street wrong if you have to put it.
Yeah, I mean, even on 41st and Alcott, like I was just on my stoop today for like 5 minutes and just literally like 3 different cars just came blaring down 41st and just
Which is
in the span of like 5 minutes. And I was just like,
do you have one of those?
do you see me standing here? Like, because I was standing there being like, why I oughta kind of thing. And I was just like, no one even cares. But also like, that is the neighborhood. Like that is such a residential street. Like what keeps pushing going that fast?
Well, like, and I bike up 40, I try to see how the bike lanes work in the neighborhood when I'm trying to go places. So I do try to hit 41st and Clay and Tejon.
It's not great. I mean,
and 46 is terrifying to be on 46 because that's a dedicated bike lane.
Yeah, that's the only dedicated.
But people go really fast on that road because it's really open. It's really open.
And I feel like it just feels like that's like, because of how close it is to the highway, somehow I feel like it feels like that's like a
thoroughfare.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
like the closer you get to I don't know, people I think go faster.
We've for a meeting that had no agenda, we filled up. We have 10 more minutes.
And
I want to be respectful of everybody's time. So let's do some next action items.
Yeah, I would like to see a meeting set for the historic Denver Action Fund.
The walking tour.
Yes, I would like to see that happen next week.
Is Austin leading that?
Austin, well, I feel like I'm leading it like.
You can't lead everything.
I can't lead, I'm leading.
I want to take some other place.
I know, that one I just like though, that one I
Okay,
wanna
well,
be
then if
involved
that's-
with.
Well, and I want to be involved in that to a certain extent because I love Phil. Like I've been chatting with him on
Well,
the
I think
phone,
that-
and I think he's a fun guy to hang out with.
Yeah.
I think it's also the most
Yeah.
tangible in the sense of like something that we could do to like
Yes,
draw some good attention to the neighborhood.
I agree with that, I wanna
So if you wanna
be,
take the lead on it.
yeah, I kinda do wanna take the lead on that.
Is there one for trees or lights that I could
If
take the
you
lead on? Because I would.
take the lead on the tree.
Well, you know so much about.
Yeah.
Isn't a lot of that
It's
sort of
taken
come?
years of email.
Yeah, you are.
Matt, why
You
don't
are
you
so.
take the lead on
Any of them that are tree related?
the tree one, because obviously we
Do
only
you
have,
can you share what you've done so far? And I can
yeah,
just
I'll
switch it up?
share what I've done so
That's the
far, and then
cover.
I think that the next step should be learning more about the CTC grant because there's no,
iPhone.
yeah, there's no timeline for that, but obviously that would probably entail some sort of fundraiser. Um,
What was it? CTC?
yes, but it stands for, you just didn't
That's
wanna know
what
what
you
it stood
texted me.
for?
Some
Colorado Tree
Colorado.
Coalition. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
I think that is.
Colorado Tree Coalition.
Cool, the trees, and then,
Community forest.
and then should the third action item be something about the lights? Or, so
Lump.
we got lights and trees together.
Well,
Should be
these
the
are
third
mostly tree related ones.
I will take on the art. then,
Yeah, so put for art. though,
Because I've been talking to Mo,
put
so I'll,
PSYAH,
Yes, you are here.
yeah, PS
I
you're
think we
here.
could do that ASAP.
Yeah.
That is.
I think a lot of people will be after that
Yeah,
one.
and Berkeley just got one. If you go to Amanda's latest.
Yeah, that's,
okay.
that, I have that on the
Newsletter.
agenda actually, so.
Okay,
if you-
look at
Whatever
that.
it is, newsletter, Berkeley has a survey.
Yeah,
They already got the grant, but Berkeley has a survey asking what people want,
yeah,
so we might be able to relate off that. I would love to see a big Sunnyside logo in the
yeah,
intersection of 40.
yeah,
Sure.
that
Okay.
would be cool.
I'd
And
like
then-
to see it also at Zuni in 44th, and I'd like to see it at Clay in 44th.
Oh, that, just do it all up.
Well, those three intersections, so Tejon and Clay are two cross bike path roads, cross 44th. Those are like our north-south bike paths that cross 44th. So there is some like reasoning behind doing some traffic calming measures at those two intersections. So like in front of the park also creates like a entrance to the park and makes it sort of a special place. The four-way stoplight at Zuni too, I just watch cars like blow through that, like, and I just feel like that's like the crossing of two, like a vehicular thoroughfare, which Zuni is, just like kind of Pecos is, but there's our north-south vehicular where people cut through the neighborhood and go pretty fast down there, and I feel like there could be,
Yeah,
since that's
I
also,
can see
it's also like a node of businesses right there with, you know, because that's one of
Some
the,
of these people need to take ownership. I mean, that's part of the business. thing.
Yeah.
It's like we need.
but I'm saying if we did something in the crosswalk there, that would help traffic calming like through the stoplight.
Yeah,
And if the light was green, people might slow down instead
Yeah.
of blow through that.
so, and then the third one on here should be the, let's call it,
And I'll send you this. I'm just taking notes because
Say
I'll forget
Business
it all.
Coalition or
Yeah.
something.
Oh,
And
yes.
Weaver grant,
Weaver grant
or
for that.
Weaver grant, and I'll work with Brian on that.
Business, what'd you call it?
Coalition,
Coalition or
I like that.
SCC. Nope, SBC,
Sunny Business Coalition.
SBC?
Uh,
You have to come up with acronyms.
SBC,
Sunnyside Business Coalition.
Yes.
And then the Weaver grant.
yeah,
is
where
that-
my mind goes,
Weaver is A, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
you have that
WPA.
great.
I have the
What?
infamous distinction of
Great.
Here, I'll
my
see.
sister-in-law used to work for King of the Hill as a writer.
Really?
Just-
And when any of our writers' idea for a show got accepted, you were able to send in pictures of family members and stuff to be a character in that they would, and I'm Basket Weaver #1
Oh,
at one of the shows. It looks kind of like me. It doesn't sound like me or anything because they don't get your voice, but like I had to send her a picture and she's like, so
That's
like half of our
hilarious.
family is like in this, like they're background characters, you know, like.
That's really funny.
Yeah, like Hank Hill, and I wasn't a huge watcher of that show, but like they went off to some sort of like retreat for basket weaving, and I'm like Basket Weaver #1.
That's hilarious.
Weaver Grant.
Man, that show is.
Yeah, she did that for years. I mean, she just writes. She moved to she got sick of LA and Burbank and everything, and so she moved to North Carolina, and where she's crushing it now is like these, not for Hallmark, but those Hallmark type movies.
Yeah.
And she's got another one she just sold and it's coming out here. It's those Christmas and
And then
Thanksgiving
what's
ones.
the name?
Yeah, and it's the same thing. Like the guy moves to the small town, and he's a hunky contractor, and you know, so she just writes these and she's selling them. Like, and I was like, good on you. So every year when she has a movie that comes out, we get together as a family and we have a movie release party, which is always pretty fun.
All right, so.
That's a lot. And well, I'm gonna put like an option. do you want to talk about those pocket park things? Cause I think that's a
Yeah.
pretty low hanging thing and we could get people to participate.
Anything to get people's attention
Yeah,
and start
alright.
doing these things.
I'm gonna bring that back up, cause if you're willing to like go rogue with me, man, I'm all on it.
We just need to start, we should start doing it right at those intersections, like.
Yeah, like just 2 spots in.
40th.
Yeah, just
First.
pop it up like on a, it could even be Saturdays or something, like a Saturday morning. It doesn't have to be like, we could just, and kind of the idea is for them to just pop up to sort of spark in.
Know what it would look like if we turn that into a bulb out.
Yeah, yeah,
Tree day.
exactly.
I mean, I just think we need to get people.
Because I was looking, there's like fake trees you can get at Target, and we could probably find some at some estate sale for free. But those fake trees are super light. They don't even really have.
Borrow this one.
Yeah, things like that. And you just put like 2 or 3 of those on the turf and some chairs.
Yeah.
Pocket park.
I just.
Heat lamps is like a big, right?
When it starts getting
All
cold.
right. Well,
Yeah.
on the Sunnyside Business Coalition, that's you, right?
Yeah,
I will connect you with Pete Tavani,
okay.
and then he can at least sort
It's
of
at
maybe
least a group of.
a group that he can just bring right in. It's like list ready.
Yeah,
And
I
it's
think
like
that
John
is,
Foods and stuff. I mean, it's big names.
yeah, no, I think that,
Then send me that survey and I'll get on there. So I'll be on that list as
You can go to
Yardstick Studio.
bidp.org.
This should be. Is that the survey?
Yeah.
This should be done. RG, should find it.
Did you put this should be .org?
Well, I didn't put it in the,
Oh,
I didn't put it in this one.
I don't know how the search is.
I thought the search might find
I
it.
don't know if my SEO is hard.
You didn't spend that much?
I had AI, but
you didn't do a big marketing spend on that?
no.
All right, cool. I got
So
it.
the survey's right there. If you click through
Yep.
and say. make
I'll do that
it-
when I get home.
Yeah, check out the rest of it.
I won't make you watch
There's-
me fill out a
there's
survey.
Pictures of every empty tree well in Sunnyside on it.
Well, and I got an extra $100 because I got billing done yesterday, so it was the first of the month.
Oh,
And so, who do I need to talk to about getting the $100 to the Suni thing for my business? Because I don't know when the last time I paid it. Is that like
I would hold
Mariah or
off on
somebody?
that
Okay.
because we actually are like actively
Launching.
redoing that.
Website?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
we're also.
It's been
like,
happening for 4
I
years, that website.
I honestly, a lot of it is
It's
just about like
reinvigorating.
figuring out what value we're providing, and I think.
But tangentially, I'll be involved in that too then. I
Yeah.
volunteer to help out with
Yeah.
that. 'Cause
Yeah.
that business alliance thing, with Brian, we get him going and doing that.
I think like we're just kind of kicking the can for a while because I don't think anyone really had a good answer or cared to provide a lot of time to figure.
Well, fuck, if it's just a few people, oops, sorry, I guess I shouldn't be cursing on the
Yeah. we can-
recorded
we can
broadcast.
figure this
Denver.
out.
Yeah, we could, all right, we're gonna stop recording.
This was good. It was a little.
Yeah,
lengthy, it was a little.
Yeah, thank you for attending this concludes our land use meeting. Yeah, peace out. And Rebecca will post this up there.
Sure will.
Yes.
After some light editing and some,
It is in the content, but.